What's worse than running out of money in retirement? Living like you already have because you're afraid to spend it. After working with thousands of retirees in just the last decade here at Valoram Solutions, I've seen retirees with $2 million saved living like they're broke, not because they don't have the money, but because they don't know how much they can actually safely spend. And that anxiety, it's not about the size of your portfolio. It's about not having a system you can follow. Today, I'm going to show you the exact process that turns confusion into clarity and turns your retirement savings into a predictable income stream that you can count on, because you didn't save all this money just to feel broke for the next 30 years. Let's fix that. Okay, Alvin, so let's talk about the actual retirement spending problem. What are the key points?
Well, most people ask, do I have enough to retire? But that's not the real question. The better question is, how do I pay myself reliably from what I've saved without running out or overspending? Without that answer, Lisa, people freeze. They hold back. They skip vacations, delay home projects, and avoid spending even when they could easily afford it. All because no structure. This isn't about wealth. It's about confidence.
Okay, Alvin, so tell us about the 3-step system for predictable income.
For sure. Here's how you fix the problem, right? You follow the simple 3-step system, the same system we've used with hundreds, if not thousands, of retirees and pre-retirees here at our agency. So let's break it down. Number 1, know your real numbers. No guesses, no roundups. You need to know what your life actually costs. Start by pulling your last 3 months of spending, bank and credit card statements, add up everything: housing, food, gas, insurance, travel, even streaming subscriptions. Then divide by 3. That's your monthly baseline. But don't stop there. The number 1 mistake, forgetting about taxes. In retirement, taxes don't come out of your paycheck. You are the paycheck. People forget that. There's no withholding. So you need to build tax estimates into your expense plan, or your numbers are going to be way off from the start. Step 2, define your gap. Once you know your true annual spending, including taxes, next, subtract your guaranteed income, Social Security, pensions, rental income, any other reliable and consistent cash flow. What's left over is what we call the income gap. This number is critical because that gap is what your investments must reliably produce every year without running out. If you don't know this number, you're just guessing. And guessing is the fastest way to create anxiety in retirement. Step number 3, last but definitely not least, you got to use the right withdrawal sources. Here's where most people are going wrong. They pull all their income from one account. It's usually, Lisa, an IRA. And that can lead to big tax bills. Instead, think in terms of buckets. We call them spend down buckets. There's like tax deferred bucket, like your traditional IRAs and your 401ks. Then you got your taxable buckets, like your brokerage accounts with capital gains. And last but definitely not least, your tax-free, like buckets like your Roth IRAs. Smart retirees blend those sources to stay in favorable tax brackets and reduce long-term tax exposure. Now, can't do that alone. You got to have some professional advice so we can go ahead and curate a plan that makes total sense, because mistakes happen in the details. For example, take just enough from your IRA to stay in the 22 or 24% bracket. Then fill the rest from your brokerage account or Roth. It's not how much you take, Lisa, it's where you take it from. Now, quick pause for just a second, because if you're following along and thinking, okay, this actually makes sense, but I'm not sure what this looks like for me, well, you're not alone. This is exactly the point where most people realize they've never really mapped this out before. They've saved, well, but no one's ever helped them connect the dots between spending, taxes, and income. That's why we built a simple retirement income strategy session. It's a short call where we walk through your numbers, identify your income gap, and show you how to structure withdrawals so your money lasts without guessing. If you want to see what this looks like for your situation, you can click the link in the description and book a time. It only takes about 60 seconds to schedule. Now, let's talk about the part most people miss entirely. Because even the best withdrawal plan can fall apart without the right foundation.
So Alvin, tell us about building your actual income foundation.
So here's what you need. A, you need a cash cushion. You gotta have like 12 to 18 months of expenses in cash. That way, when markets drop, you're not forced to sell stocks at a loss just to cover your bills. You've got time for your investments to recover. A diversified portfolio means that your retirement portfolio isn't just about growth, it's about stability. A mix of stocks for long-term growth and bonds or annuities for short-term security. Diversify beyond just big US companies. Add in small caps, international, even REITs if appropriate. The more balanced your portfolio, the more reliable your income is going to be.
Now let's talk about the bonus strategy, those guardrails that we love.
You gotta have confidence in your plan. That's why you have to use a guardrail system. Here's how it works. You start with a baseline withdrawal. Let's say $100,000 from a $2 million portfolio. That's about 5%, Lisa. If the market drops and your portfolio shrinks, your withdrawal rate rises. If it hits a certain guardrail, like 6%, you dial spending back temporarily. If the market soars and your withdrawal rate drops to, say, 4%, you get a raise. It's a dynamic program that adapts to real life. And it gives you permission to spend more when things go well and hold steady when they don't.
Alvin, what you're describing seems like a real transformation. Go deeper with that.
It's mindset. It's really mindset. You know, currently, before people have a system, most retirees feel super anxious, overly cautious. They're afraid to actually enjoy their money. After the system, they feel confident, clear, free to live, travel, gift people, enjoy retirement without guilt. You go from second guessing every dollar to knowing exactly what's safe to spend each month. And that changes everything in their demeanor. Because who wants to go through the best years of your life having to second guess every step?
Alvin, who would you say our system is for?
Well, the system works if you are between 55 and 72, you have 250,000 or more saved in retirement accounts, you want reliable income that lasts decades, you're very proactive, you're open to structure. It's not ideal for someone who needs full liquidity or isn't ready to plan intentionally. I often hear people, they're like, I want access to all my money, but I also want no risk. I want all the gains. I want, and no taxes. I want it all. You can't. You can't have it all. You have to make sure you structure properly because there's no such thing as having your cake and eating it too. But if you're serious about retiring with confidence, this could be exactly what you've been missing.
If this video helped and you see your retirement a little more clearly, here's what I'd recommend next. First, make sure you're subscribed. We at Valoram Solutions break down retirement income, taxes, and planning strategies like this every single week so you can make smarter decisions with confidence. And if you're thinking, okay, I've saved well, but I want to make sure I'm spending the right way, then your next step is simple. Click the link in the description and schedule a free retirement strategy session. In that call, we'll walk through your real numbers, we'll identify your income gap, and we're going to map out a strategy to make your income predictable and sustainable. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.